All right, guys, welcome back to Remotely Wasted. Here to talk college football with you. But before we do that, like, subscribe, get the algorithm on our side. But most importantly, comment, even if it's negative. We'll still heart react to it, still probably respond to it. So go ahead and leave a comment. Jaden has not seen the
No.
new playoff bracket. But before we get into the playoff bracket, Jaden, I want to ask you, what do you look for in a playoff team? Like what factors and criteria do you think are most important for a playoff team?
I feel like I'm the worst person to ask because I'm like, oh, you go undefeated, you're in, like shit like that. But like, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot that you gotta look at, and then there's a lot that's like kind of like you can go both ways on. Like
Yeah.
the strength of schedule. That's a lot of people's big thing, like with like say Indiana, for example, or Boise State, like getting the bye. But like Boise State's only got one loss, and that's to Oregon. And they played them close, so it's like you can go both ways with that. Indiana's played fucking nobody. They lost to the only good team they played, unless you count Michigan, but I don't know. And then
So
you
I
got
would
you
say
got
like
conference.
what do you think is more important? Win-loss record, like I would say win-loss record and strength of schedule are probably like
I
they're
I
pretty
think
close in importance.
I think win loss is number one,
Yeah, that's I would say so too.
but then then you got to factor in, oh, does the team missing their quarterback? Did they get in
Yeah.
then? Fucking Georgia. Um, fuck us, right?
Well, did you hear SMU's coach before the ACC title game, where he
No.
was like, "Well, the first game we lost, we didn't have our current quarterback as the starter, but we've won every single game with him, and they left Florida State out because of their quarterback. So there's
Oh
no
no, no,
reason not to let
that
us
was
in."
Arizona State.
Or
That
was
was
that Arizona
Dillingham.
State that said
Yeah,
that?
that was
Okay,
Dillingham.
somebody said that, and I was like, "Well, that's a very fair point, actually."
Ah, it's absolutely fair.
I would say strength of schedule. When for me, it's win-loss record, strength of schedule. I also think we got to look at quality loss.
True, yeah.
Yeah, maybe you beat some really good teams, but then you lost to some garbage teams. I feel like
Alabama.
that should count pretty heavily against you.
I absolutely, especially if it's like at home too or something like that. Like if you say you lose to fucking Vanderbilt at home, like that's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, luckily, I mean,
But
for
I think
them, they lost. I
on the
think all of
road,
theirs on the road. Yeah, all of them were on the road. But I mean, like you're playing a really bad Oklahoma team this year. You
yeah,
lose by 3 scores.
they got
That should
blown
be
out.
held against you. I mean, it should.
They didn't even have 100 yards passing against you. Like, come on now, like sell out against the run, and they still couldn't do it. So,
I would also
uh,
say head to head for me is the ultimate tiebreaker. If you've played a team one like you play that team and you beat them, you should get in over them. It should be ranked higher because there was the argument between
as long
South
as you
Carolina and
have
Bama.
even losses,
That's what I'm saying. As long as it's
yeah,
a pretty close record.
yeah,
Even though for like I would say South Carolina was passing the eye test more than
yeah.
Alabama, but
I think
we
eye
gotta
test
keep.
would be like kind of like the next rung down. If maybe everything's tied on those previous mentions, and it's like, okay, then what do you want to look at? Like eye
So
test?
what do you like when you say eye test? What are you thinking? Because I thought about this over the weekend. Like, what does eye test even mean?
For
Like,
me, it's kind of like dominance almost. Like in your games, like the games that you're supposed to be blowing teams out. See, like you're playing an FCS school, you're fucking blowing them out. You got starters pulled in like the third quarter, whatever. Good teams you're playing good. You're not really struggling. You're handling your conference games good. To me, that's kind of like what the eye test is.
yes,
Even if you're playing a tough team, so like the Ohio State Oregon game, like that was a close game. Like both teams kind of passed the eye test. Then Ohio State fumbled the fucking bag later on the road, but that's neither here nor there for that particular game. But like Texas, they've been fucking failing the eye test for like weeks now. Miami, they was failing the eye test all fucking season. You just knew it was coming.
yeah. I think
So,
I figured out that eye test for me can actually be a measurable stat, and it's exactly what you're talking about. It's the margin of victory. I feel like how much you're winning by, and
yep.
then depending on who you're playing. Like for example, the Ohio State Oregon that would work in favor of them on the eye test because they only lost that game by 1 point.
Yep.
and then they blew Indiana out by quite a big margin. So instead of because what I've noticed with the committee and especially the people on ESPN, they don't view the eye test as like margin of victory or anything measurable. They view it as
I
like
don't know what the fuck
they say that this is their reasoning. Well, if this team played this team would win. You can't make your choices based off a hypothetical scenario. There has to be
yeah.
something that happened in the past. Like it can't be
In this
everybody.
season.
Yeah, and then everybody wants to be like, oh, it needs to be the 12 best teams. I think it needs to be the 12 most deserving teams that have things on
Yeah,
the resume.
if you can't win your fucking games, then you can't get in. Sorry, I mean,
Yeah,
we play in the hardest conference. Then fucking leave.
yeah, exactly. And
You
also,
did that to yourself.
and you're scheduling a lot of these teams are scheduling really hard non-conference games that you're losing. It's working against you because why would they not let a
Yeah.
team that has only one loss in, or like they're gonna let that team in over you. You have three losses.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
scheduling tough out of conference games is kind of a thing of the past now. Like everything that's kind of locked in for the next maybe couple years that they can't change, or it's going to be costly to change. They won't, but everything else. Say you got like a fucking Iowa State or Missouri or someone on your schedule, like they're gonna try to get rid of that, so you don't got to play them. Like some just random fucking team down there in the bottom of the top 25, like an Army or something like that. Maybe not Army, because Army's not always that good. Uh, let's just do like UNLV, whatever. UNLV, you got UNLV on your schedule. Like, let's just replace them with an FCS team.
Yeah,
Don't want to take any
that's probably what's
chances.
gonna happen. And I mean, honestly, I kind of do like the fact I do like scheduling weaker teams because I know the argument is like, oh, we want better matchups and this and that, but you're also taking away one of the best things about college football, and that's the upsets when you have these kind of
True.
uneven matchups.
Doesn't always happen, but it can.
And when it does happen, it's like usually one of the better moments of the entire
And
season.
that's the whole like idea of the 12 team playoff is like, yeah, maybe the top 12 teams aren't gonna get in. You're gonna get your Boise States, you're gonna get your Cincinnati's, your TCU's in. They might not win, but there's a chance, they can upset somebody. It can happen, I don't know why I always think of the Appalachian State Michigan game.
No, that's one of the
Say
upsets of all
Appalachian,
time.
yeah, Appalachian runs the table, they make it. They play Michigan first round or something, they upset them. It's like it's the same scenario. And
Yeah,
Michigan
and
would be at
upsets
home,
happen all the
so
time in college football, week to week. It's not like
yeah.
impossible.
And it's
Maybe
not
like obviously a team like that probably isn't going to win the whole thing, but they could
no,
definitely knock somebody out
yeah, it's
that
not
we thought
impossible
was
for
going to
Boise
go.
State to win a game. They almost beat Oregon.
Yeah, exactly. And also like if we're doing this whole 12 best teams, the best teams don't make it in the NFL every year. I guarantee
No,
you there's going to be a team in the
it's the
playoffs in the
stacked
NFL
division, like the
that
Lions
should be
division.
in, but they're not going to get in. Yeah, exactly.
The division's going fucking stupid this year. Not all of them are gonna
Somebody's
make
just
it.
not going to get in, and that's just what it is, and that's how any other sport. The
It's yeah,
basketball, the play-in tournament they have now. I guarantee you, there's a team that's going to get left out that really was the better team, but they just played bad for this one game, and that's just the consequences of losing the game. And there
I hate
needs
to
to be
fucking see it.
consequences for loses.
Yeah, fucking win your games.
Yeah, if
That's
there's
all there is to it.
losses, there should be consequences. There's no
I
more getting a pass.
I agree, but
There's 12 teams. If you can't make it to the 12 team playoff, I don't feel bad for you.
yeah, it's I don't know, and there's always going to be those bubble teams that are be like, Ole Miss, South Carolina, Alabama teams. Like I said, I haven't looked at the brackets. I just know Alabama's not in. So, but I know they were all three like, oh, we beat these teams, we're better than this team, so on and so forth. Like you're always going to have those teams sitting right around 12 that are making their case and that are crying. And it was the same thing when it was in four. They was sitting right there at the four spot, five, six. It was like, oh, we should be in, da 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 da. So they could make it fucking 25 teams and it's gonna be the same thing.
Yeah, it's harder
There'll be
to
a
feel
five
bad
loss
in a
team
12
and
team.
nah, it's I don't know. Just win your
Because in a
fucking
four
games.
team, you could feel bad for a team like Florida State last year. You're like, damn,
Yep.
they're undefeated and they're power at the time Power Five conference champion. But this is a
Yep.
12 team playoff. It's a lot harder to feel bad for a three loss
Nah,
Bama.
the only teams I'd feel bad for was like a one loss like group of five team or something like that that's like somehow doesn't get in. Something like that. I'd be like, yeah, that sucks, but what can you do? But
Exactly. So I guess we could
if you
hop
have
in.
two or less losses, you're probably gonna make it.
Yeah, at this point, which is crazy because normally, like I feel like most years there's a lot more just one loss teams. But this year's been a weird year where like besides Oregon, there's not been like a real like multiple dominant teams. Like I saw this thing of last year's bracket, like the top six teams, and it was pretty much like any of these six teams would probably be like the best team this year based on like how little dominance there is and compared to years past.
Yeah, no, it's evened out for sure.
Yeah, I wonder if this is like a one-off or if it just keeps going in this direction.
I think it'll kind of co keep going in this direction for a little while, and then I think it'll get a little top heavy.
Yeah. And then
But
we'll see what they do with like conference alignment and are we
and
going to go to
NILs,
a 30 team super league or
yeah.
70 team super league. We don't know which direction the sport's even headed right now.
I seen
Um
a press conference from Mike Gundy. He was talking about just all the shit, and I was like, damn, I've never heard somebody just break the shit down so well. Um, I don't know if we'd be able to play it or if I'd even be able to find it, but he's just talking about
yeah.
like all of it, and he's just like, shit's trash. Like college football is gonna be ruined if we keep going this way. He's like, there's gotta be like a committee, like a commissioner over all the conferences, and below that you'll have the group of four or whatever, the power five if they end up going back to it. Below that, and then there needs to be like an NIL commissioner or something like that. Somebody over like the portal. Needs to be
Yeah.
like some regulations, like a salary cap or something to
And
guide that forward.
contracts must
Contracts, yep,
Gundy was the first person I heard say that was that these players need to sign contracts because
absolutely.
where in any other situation can you give a player or give anybody
A
$1
fuck
million
ton of
dollars
money.
with no strings attached and they could
Yeah,
just leave?
they don't even have to fucking play.
Nick Anderson got a shit ton of NIL money this year and he's just in the portal. Didn't play. I think he played one game for us the entire year and it was for like a quarter or two.
Look at fucking
Took that
DJ.
NIL money and left.
Yep,
Yeah,
just
DJ got a crazy amount of NIL money.
he's been. I've seen him in some fucking commercials. Like I seen Patrick Payton on a fucking Powerade commercial. And motherfucker didn't do shit this year. It's just I don't know if maybe they're like they got paid and then they're like, oh, we don't need to really play as hard because we got money now. Like,
Or make it incentive based. Like you don't get the money until you do this incentive, this incentive, this incentive.
yeah, maybe you get like a quarter of it guaranteed and then you can earn the rest. Something.
Yeah, like you get a signing bonus and then you have to earn the rest of the money.
Yep,
I think that'd be fair. Yeah, this the sport's going in a weird direction.
I
But
like it.
Jaden hasn't seen the playoffs, so we could pull up the bracket. I'll just say right now, my top 12 is almost the exact same as what the bracket is. Let's see what we got right now.
Well, I'll pull up the actual bracket.
Yeah,
Fix
these are the
my screen.
rankings. The rankings have a little bit of a difference with the actual bracket, but it is interesting. They have like the seeds and
Go
stuff
away.
based on.
Whenever I share my screen, it makes my little zoom window like really small, so I gotta drag it out. All right,
Yeah,
CFP bracket.
and
Assuming
then
this is it. Okay.
you don't even know the matchups. That's what's crazy.
All right, so let's see. Arizona State got to buy Boise State, Georgia, Oregon. Okay. I, I guess, yeah, Georgia, since they did win the SEC. I don't know. I'm really actually surprised they gave Boise State and Arizona State both a bye, which is kind of nuts. I feel like that probably pissed a lot of people off.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying that they well basically everybody on the reveal show was like throwing a fit and saying they need to do away with the conference champions automatically getting a bye.
Right.
I think they should keep it this way. I actually find it a lot more interesting. It adds just like another layer of excitement to the
Yep.
playoff bracket, but they're mad because like the top teams didn't get the top four seeds. Boo hoo. I will
Cry
say the
about it.
only difference I have in the rankings is I'd probably have Arizona State above Boise State. I thought they were extremely dominant against Iowa State in their conference champion.
I did. I don't know what the fuck I ended up doing. I did this earlier, and now I'm looking at it. I'm like, shouldn't even. It's not even really close. I think I ended up doing kind of like what you were doing the majority of the year, like what you think was kind of the best
Like
team.
just like the power ranking type deal.
Yeah, so I had Oregon one. I went Notre Dame at two, at SMU three, Boise State four.
Yeah, I mean if SMU would have won, I think they definitely probably
Yeah,
would have got a bye.
I
They
got
unfortunately didn't, but
I got
they're in.
Georgia five. They're two. Texas 6. It's close.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
Arizona State 7. Ohio State 8. Tennessee 9.
Yeah, you
In
got those that right, exactly right.
Indiana 10.
Yep.
Alabama 11.
That's their ranking. They're just not
And
seated.
then I had South Carolina 12.
Yeah, and I think they might actually
They
be in
beat
like the
Clemson.
actual top 12. So out of
But
all these first round matchups,
yeah, this,
which one stands out the most to you? For me, it's Texas Clemson. I think that's a really interesting matchup.
yeah, that one and then SMU Penn State. Clemson Texas is gonna be really good. Clemson's got a solid defense and their offense is pretty good. Texas has kind of been wavering on offense a little bit, but their defense is like supposedly one of the best in the country. I think Clemson can win that game for sure. Tennessee, Ohio State. I can't see Tennessee beating them.
Yeah,
I can't see it.
and it's at Ohio State. That's a big
Yeah.
home field advantage.
Oh fuck yeah, true that.
One thing they pointed out on the show that I did agree with was kind of weird. Like, so really, like the first seed in any other sport, they get the opportunity to play like the
Yeah, so
worst team.
they should be switched with Arizona State.
Yeah, it's like kind of bullshit that they have to play one of the tougher teams because Tennessee, Ohio State is going to be way tougher than probably the winner of Clemson, Texas. I mean, is not a cakewalk by any means,
So
but
yeah, so we were saying so Ohio State had that 5 spot lockdown for a while, and then they had Boise State sitting there at 4, and we was like, all right, Ohio State's got pretty much almost a straight shot to the semifinals, but now Arizona State's sitting at 4, and they're not that's not a fucking team you just come and walk over. If you ain't got a good run defense, they're gonna fucking shit on you. Like
oh yeah.
so,
And Iowa
Arizona
State's not a terrible defense that they destroyed this past weekend.
and Arizona State's got a decent defense. Like they're not great, but they might get a stop or two. So yeah, I like that matchup a lot. I think Ohio State beats Tennessee. SMU Penn State's really interesting. Um, SMU's defense did okay against Clemson. They got some stops. They pretty much shut down Clemson's run game. So if they can force Penn State to have to throw and not throw well, then they got a shot to win. And they were scoring on Clemson,
The
so
only thing that's I just hate they have to play
it's gonna
there.
be cold. That's gonna be loud.
Cold, loud. It's gonna be crazy. It's an 11 a.m. game, which like helps a little
Yeah.
bit because it's not the night whiteout. You're not gonna hear Mo Bamba blasting.
I mean, you're still
I
gonna
mean,
hear it,
you're
but
still gonna hear it, but it's probably not gonna be as lit because people hadn't won't be like have been drunk the whole day,
yeah.
like they would have if it's a night game. I think
I
Penn
can't.
State ultimately wins, but
Yeah, I can't see SMU pulling it off. I would like to see it, but hey, I mean, you never know. Penn State's fraudulent all the time.
I will say SMU's quarterback he's a dual threat.
I like him a lot.
He's not scared to just
The, the
let it
way
go.
the way he throws the ball is so weird. I don't know. He throws that shit so fast,
It's
like
like
you
a
don't even see
fastball.
it. It's like he almost does like a sidearm. It's weird, and it doesn't look like it's gonna make it to where the fuck he's throwing it. I don't know. It makes me uncomfortable.
He's got kind of like almost like a Mahomes kind of quality to him, I feel like.
Kind of, but he throws that shit so fast. I don't know how the motherfucking receivers catch that shit.
Yeah,
No
I don't
idea.
know. I don't I could see them pulling it off if like Penn State's offense doesn't show up because
True.
their offense is like hit or miss.
You know,
But I
and
don't know. That's a good matchup. It's interesting.
I really can't see Indiana beating Notre Dame.
That's like it's almost
Can't
like a
see it.
bed. It's almost like a bedlam. That's two Indiana teams.
That'd be cool. I
So I
think it
think
might
there's going to
be.
be a lot of Indiana fans in attendance.
Yeah, I
So
think
that does help a little bit.
Notre Dame would definitely match up better against Georgia. Um, I don't even know which of those teams would match up better with Boise State. Boise State, there ain't no fucking way they beat either of those teams. There's just no way.
I think they could beat SMU.
I don't know, man. SMU's secondary is trash. And then we might get an Oregon Ohio State rematch, which would be cool. I'm for it. But I don't see Tennessee beating Oregon. And then I think Arizona State's got a decent shot against either of those two teams.
So looking
Not
at
a
this
guarantee,
bracket,
but a decent shot.
yeah, I would say so. I'm looking at this bracket. I feel like Penn State and the probably Texas have like the clearest path
Yeah.
to the semifinals. I would say more so Penn State because SMU should theoretically they should be able to beat them pretty
Yeah.
easily. They should be able to beat Boise State pretty easily. They got a good run defense. I think they could shut down Genty as much as you can shut down Genty, hold them to maybe like 130 instead of 200,
We'll
and
see.
then we'll see. I don't see Penn State not like I don't see them winning the semifinals. I can't. My
I
mind
mean, they're
doesn't.
pulling Georgia or Notre Dame more than likely.
I
And
think I
then
think either one of those teams beats Penn State.
and then if they do make it to the finals, they're pulling fucking Oregon, Ohio
Ohio
State,
State, Texas.
Texas, Clemson
It could be
potentially.
Arizona State, maybe.
You
I mean,
never
it could
know.
be, yeah. On that side of the bracket, to me, is a lot more open.
Yeah, you got the fucking two big sharks, Oregon and Ohio State, kind of sitting there looming. Texas just looks beatable, and that A&M game was kind of like they can't fucking move the ball, like they can't score. I don't
Their,
understand.
their run game's kind of weak, and I've noticed their O line is it's not bad, but it's like they're getting a lot of teams are getting a lot of pressure on Ewers,
Yeah, it's weird. I don't
and that's
know.
just throwing his game off. He's making a few rush throws. He's still putting up great yardage, like 300 plus a game, but he's under a lot of pressure, and then he throws a pick on accident.
Yeah, that this is probably like outside of like Ohio State. I think this is probably the worst team that they could have matched up against. Uh, Clemson's that's a fucking trap team, and Cade Klubnik's kind of getting really good. He could
And he's
run
got
like
a
a
lot of experience
motherfucker,
at this point too.
and he's so fast. He's fast. You
Yeah.
get if he gets into space, like he's outrunning the majority of players.
And
So
Dabo's a coach that's won two national championships. He's been here before
I I
many,
think I
many
think
times.
I think Clemson pulls it off. If not, it's gonna be a very close game, like field goal like type thing.
Texas is like they do have a good home field advantage, but it's not like that great in comparison to like a Penn State or Ohio State. I just don't think their home field advantage is quite as good as those other two
Yeah.
teams. I think they're more closer to like Notre Dame. I would say they're pretty even as far as home field advantage.
And I pretty much consider Notre Dame like a Big Ten team, and it's like almost there's like almost three Big Ten teams hosting playoff games in fucking late December. That's gonna be cold as fuck. People would be just praying, Arizona State or Texas is like hosting a first round game, so you gotta travel up north. Indiana's kind of used to it. SMU, they're from Texas. They're not really used to that. Tennessee's
Yeah.
coldish, and then Clemson's from Carolina, so it's like I don't know.
I would say SMU is probably a
They're
little bit more used to the cold than Texas is, but Texas isn't gonna have to travel to the cold, so that helps them out a lot. Because I mean, it gets reasonably cold in Dallas, about as cold as it gets up here in Oklahoma.
Yeah, but
Um,
not fucking Pennsylvania.
oh yeah, no, it's
Like
it's
that could be
it's a different
snowing
type of
in
cold. Yeah,
three of these games.
I love the environments here. Like these are four really good home
Yeah,
field
I like it
college football environments for the first ever 12 team playoff. Penn State to me is like the environment I think is going to be the best.
for sure.
But Ohio State, Tennessee at night, that's a pretty interesting match. I can't wait for these
I
playoffs.
I hope one of them is a snow game. Just one. I would probably
Uh,
prefer the Indiana Notre Dame game to be a. That just feels like a real just fucking. I don't know why those two teams. I just want just snow and then just running the fucking ball the whole game and it end up being like 6-3. That's the vibe I get from like Notre Dame. But
I think Notre Dame is like maybe on like a slight upset alert because
you think so?
I mean they did lose to Northern Illinois. That's just like the one
Yeah.
thing they did this year that I'm like, what was that?
I mean, everybody's looked pretty much beatable at some point. There's not one of these teams up here that is just dominant. Like Oregon struggled two or three
Yeah.
times a little bit. Idaho, Boise State, Wisconsin. So they
They
are
didn't look,
beatable.
I mean, they looked pretty good against Penn State, but they didn't look dominant. I think they
I
only
didn't
won
get
by
to
like a
watch the
score.
game, so
I switched off between SMU, Clemson, and Oregon, Penn State. I was watching more so SMU, Clemson
I think it was a
because
great game.
it ended up being a really good game, and I loved how that game went like the exact way Alabama fans did not want it to go. Because at first it was looking like, oh shit,
So
SMU's
SMU's
getting
getting
blown
beat the
out.
fuck down.
Bama's probably getting in, but no, they came back. Then Clemson hit a last second 55-yard field goal. It's like,
I
how
didn't
can you
think
not let both teams in?
I didn't think he had it. I didn't think he was gonna hit it. I was like, we're going to OT, baby. Should that'd have been
Fantastic game.
that was great. And then Miami didn't get in too, so it's just double win. Fuck Miami. Fuck them. You got the best quarterback potentially in the country, and you couldn't get it done. Hey, love to see
Yeah.
it.
I
Love
mean, a
to
lot of
see it.
there's a lot of teams that we're used to seeing that are either low in this bracket or they're not in at all. Honestly, I don't even like mind this Georgia team as much as we've hated Georgia on this show. This
No,
Georgia team's actually kind of like they're gritty and they're not that great, but they pull it off
yeah, no.
repeatedly.
That I'm just curious what the fuck's wrong with Carson Beck. How bad his injury is.
Yeah, I like the backup. He wasn't like he didn't throw the ball a whole lot, but he was willing to just sacrifice his body on some
Oh
of those
yeah,
runs.
he was laying it down.
That last hit, his helmet popped off. That was like an old, like Madden '06, like hit stick. I don't know if you remember, like the PS2 ones. You would light somebody up and their helmet would pop off.
Yeah, there was some big fucking hits this past weekend. Oh, Iowa State's quarterback Rocco, dude, I thought he died.
Oh, but I kind of like, I love that. Honestly, I love seeing a quarterback just get lit up every now and
God,
then. Just like
shit
every now and
housed.
then.
I just wish he wouldn't have went so high with the hit. Like, it would have been illegal. He could have still fucking had the same hit. Just
Yeah,
hit
if he just like
lead with the
moved
should,
his
man.
head, yeah.
Ah,
Oh,
he almost killed that guy.
oh, it was.
He didn't move. I was like, oh fuck, the dude's paralyzed. He was just like laying there. I was like, oh no, because the training staff immediately just immediately ran out there. Like they knew the dude got shit on. Oh, it's a great
Uh,
hit.
the Big 12 championship was an interesting game because I didn't expect Arizona State to just dominate Iowa State. I
I
thought they were gonna win, but I thought it was gonna be like a close win,
I didn't either.
and
Scotty
they
fucked on them.
destroyed. But Scatterboo is looking like I would not be surprised if Arizona State made a run. Honestly, I really would not.
Nah, yeah, if they can get him going and he
They're
can
kind of my
run.
dark horse, like could win it all team. Like I could actually see them winning it all. Unlike like SMU, Boise State, I don't really see them making it past like maybe winning one game. But Arizona State, I could see them sneaking all the way in.
Man, honestly, I'd be cool with anybody out here winning except for Georgia, Clemson, or Ohio State.
For me, anybody but Texas.
Yeah,
I'm cool with it. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not really cool. Obviously, I don't want Ohio State or like Georgia to win, but like really, really, I just don't want Texas to win. Like, please not Texas.
That's valid.
I normally like hate Clemson, but they've been kind of just like an underdog team this whole season. I wouldn't really mind it as much if they won this time.
I would be mad if they beat Texas, but I don't want them to win another one.
Yeah, I mean, like who? Like I'm looking at all these teams. Like who would I really just want to win it all?
Boise State, obviously.
Yeah, I would probably go Boise State, SMU, then Arizona State, and then Indiana probably after that. Like teams
Yep.
I'd love to see win the whole thing.
That'd be so cool.
Or Oregon. I would love to see Oregon just because of Dylan Gabriel. I don't really like Oregon as a school, but Dylan Gabriel's my guy, so I would like to see him win. He deserves it after he got ran out of Oklahoma for Jackson Arnold. So
Hate to see it, man. I bet them
I,
fucking people are kicking themselves in the ass.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
So annoying.
But
Shitty
hey,
fans.
he's doing better now,
You're doing
better
big
situation.
things. Big things.
Hey, and if he makes a run in this playoffs, he could move his draft stock up quite a bit. So hopefully they make a decent run.
I mean, that think they will. All right.
Um,
Game of the week. I
I'm
went.
with SMU Clemson
Yeah, me too. This
because
shit
this
was.
this was just like what was this?
It was 24-7 in the second quarter, like or going into halftime. I was like, all right, this game's over. I think at this point I switched over to the fuck did I switch to? Well,
Penn State, Oregon.
yeah, I was watching a little bit of that game, and then I was like, okay, they scored again. I popped back over, and then Clemson scored again. I was like, all right. And then fourth quarter, I popped back in, and they was like coming back, and I was like, oh shit. And Jennings was out there just making shit happen. It was such a good game. I'm just surprised they held Moffitt at 28 yards. That's just crazy. That dude's
No,
good. He's really good.
I think the most like the craziest play for me was the kick return that set Clemson up at the end.
Ah, that was devastating. I knew it as soon as they fucking tackled them. I was like, it's over. They're way too close. There's too much time.
And it's really tough, like and to be in a defensive position at that point because you're trying not to give up a touchdown, so
Yep.
you're playing guys back, but that just sets them up for like
Just
a medium gain, and that's
yep.
exactly what they needed to set up a field goal. So it was just a bad spot for SMU. Luckily, they kept the game close enough to get into the playoffs. This was an exciting game. It was close for me between this one and Georgia Texas because that game was exciting too, just in a different way. It was more of a low scoring defensive battle. This one was more like a blowout. That it was just a comeback, and then I don't know. It reminded me almost
I'm
of the Georgia Bama game a
I'm
little bit.
surprised they actually came back, honestly. I don't know if Clemson just got comfortable being up 31-14. I mean, at that point going into the fourth quarter, you're like, all right, we probably got it in the bag. I don't know, maybe the defense got just a little comfortable. I don't know.
I honestly like at a certain point, I was like, are they conspiring like together?
Could be.
Like Clemson's like, hey, we'll let you come back. Like,
I,
just
I'd,
let us win by like just a little bit.
I don't think it's entirely outside their own possibility. Because they was talking about SMU not even playing in the game, just to not have the loss, just guaranteed to get in. Like, and then the fact that like that's even a consideration is just fucking crazy.
Well, and that's what the committee did specifically last year when they screwed over Florida State was they devalued the conference championship, which
You
should be
know,
like one of the most important factors, in my opinion, in determining a playoff team. You shouldn't get punished for making the conference championship
and
when
winning it.
another team didn't even get into their conference championship.
Yep. Shit's
And yeah,
tragic.
it's stupid. Yeah, so I mean, they need to put a lot more value, I think, on the conference championship because like there was no way SMU should have even been in that position where they could have potentially lost their playoff spot because they
They
played
should
an extra
do
game that Bama didn't.
like a rule you opt out of your conference championship, you don't make the playoff.
Yeah, I
Regardless
think
of if
so.
you know, regardless of if you're fucking undefeated. You ain't making it. Sorry.
Yeah, especially I mean, is ridiculous,
Yeah. But
and you're screwing over the whole conference because that's like one of the bigger like money
yeah,
generating
because
games
somebody
for
else
all
could
the
have
school.
fucking went and played in it. So what do you just the other team that fucking showed up, do they just automatically win? Like that's fucked.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. No, I wouldn't be surprised if these two teams worked with each other. I don't think
Yeah, me
D
neither.
Dabo likes Bama. I think he probably would have been satisfied screwing Bama over. And
Yeah,
the ACC, I mean, they've got to be pretty pissed as a conference after what happened last year.
I don't think they were pissed at all. They nobody said shit. You didn't hear anything from the fucking ACC. Oh damn, you guys just make it. But then fucking Miami don't make it, and there's a fucking uproar. Like,
Yeah,
suck my dick.
well, it seemed like this year the ACC was working more to try to make sure they had two teams in the playoffs this year. It looked like that was the ACC's goal this entire year.
Well, they didn't get fucking they
That's
didn't get
why
any in
Miami
last
kept
year.
getting all those calls. I feel like they were just like, oh, we need
Yeah,
Bama in, and then we need like Clemson or somebody else in. So they were really favoring, like the refs were really favoring Miami this year. It just seemed like the ACC was trying to get two teams in this whole season. That's just what it felt like to me.
doesn't happen for us. ACC fucking hates us.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know how much
They,
longer you guys will be in the ACC.
I fucking can't wait to leave. I don't even care if we end up in like the SEC and we lose fucking 4 or 5 games a year every year. Like, so fucking be it. We can make more money, and we might have a random year where we get good, make a run. Like, that's all. That's all. That's the best you can hope for in the SEC at this point. If you're not,
Geographically, it kind of makes more sense for you guys to
yeah,
play
it
in the
does.
SEC.
Um, I mean, I wouldn't hate playing in the Big Ten because there's only year in, year out, it's usually Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State. Now it's Oregon. And then depending what the fuck USC is doing, there might be four. Compared to like the SEC, there's like 6, 7, maybe even 8 teams that, depending on the year, can, compete. So it's like I feel like the Big Ten's easier in a way. And look at say like Indiana, for example. They didn't pull fucking hardly anybody at the top. They pulled just Ohio State. That's it.
Yeah, they
So,
got pretty lucky.
so I'd rather go to the Big Ten, for the sake of not getting shit on every fucking week.
I want to go back to the Big 12, honestly.
I wouldn't hate fucking if we win as the Big 12. I mean,
You guys would be the biggest you guys would be the biggest brand in the Big 12 if you guys win.
I know it's not, I don't even know if we'd make any more money in the Big 12, but we'd be the I mean, big fish in a little pond. I mean, we kind of are now still, but because it's just kind of us, Clemson and Miami normally. Um, and then I know we got fucking SMU and they're fucking shit up, so I'm happy
I,
for them. I
SME is kind of like a team
we
that I could see getting really good. Like,
we talked about this at the beginning of the year, SMU being fucking dangerous.
I think we might have predicted them like to win the conference or like be a runner up.
I specifically remember saying SMU is going to be a fucking a tough team. I don't remember if I said they was going to win the conference, but shit, we'll just give ourselves credit and say we did.
No, that's gonna be our last video of the season. We're gonna react to our first video because there's got to be some things we got right.
I don't know,
Surely,
maybe nothing. I remember I said I think Florida State was going to go undefeated. I'm pretty
I
sure I
had
said that.
Oregon as my number one. I remember that. That might be the only thing I got right.
Yeah, unfortunate. All right, best performance by a team. I
What did I go with? I went with
I,
Arizona State.
I went with Georgia.
Georgia was a good performance as well.
I only kind of went this way. They did lose their starting quarterback. They looked better without Carson back. Found the way to win. Ended up going to OT again for the second straight game. Yeah, like you said, this Georgia team's just gritty. They're just finding ways to win. It's fucking
They
annoying.
were struggling in that first half offensively. I was getting pissed. Like,
This this motherfucker right here can't catch.
bro, he sucks. Kirk Herbstreit was pointing out that he jumps when he does not need to jump, and it like
He's
messes up his catch.
I was about to say this guy has to be a freshman, but Jesus Christ. How many fucking years has he been on this team?
I want to say he's like their like top receiver too, or like one of their better receivers.
This is his best year. He's a senior, he's at 750. This dude's not making it to the league. Just put the fries in the bag, man.
He's dropping stuff left and right.
Dude, he
I knew at halftime though when like Texas wasn't like because Texas really should have been up a lot more at halftime. Like they should have been up by like two, three scores. And I knew I was like they did not they left Kirby too much to work with. I was like
yeah.
he's too smart of a coach.
I think they missed like what, two, three field goals?
Yeah, and I
At
thought their
least
kicker
two.
was like pretty decent going into this
He
game.
is. Yeah, if they make those two field goals, I don't even think this game's even this close.
Yeah. He really, kind of messed things up for him, but Ewers didn't help the cause with the two interceptions. Although I want to say one of the interceptions wasn't his fault, if I remember correctly. Um, I don't know, man. The O line wasn't really protecting him as well as I think they could have. The running back, he's my worst player of the
Hey,
week.
Wisner?
Yeah, because I mean he averaged 2.7 yards a carry on you carry the ball 19 times. You should probably get closer to 100 yards, in
This
my
man went
opinion.
fucking crazy last game.
Yeah. He had a good he had a good against A&M,
This
but
dude single-handedly won that game for them.
and maybe this just speaks to how good Georgia's,
Their
defensive line
defensive
is,
liners, yeah.
but he was struggling and or it could be how bad their O-line is against good
Could be.
competition. I don't know. He really had a rough performance. It would have taken a lot of the pressure off of Ewers because it got to a point where I realized they couldn't run the ball. They just had to throw it every play. That was their only chance of winning.
Yep.
I kind of feel
Okay.
bad for Ewers. Like those fans
I
are like
don't.
so harsh on him. Like
I don't. He's
Texas fans are so stupid. Like they just
I think he's slightly overrated. I'm not saying he's not good, but I think he's been put up way too high on a pedestal. But you also got to think he's had fucking Arch Manning breathing down his fucking neck, fans calling for that switch, even when he's playing good.
I would
Um,
say Arch Manning, like he's looked good in a little bit. They've thrown him in, but like Texas fans,
he's
like
never
as an
not ready.
Oklahoma fan, like be
Just
careful
not
what you wish
ready.
for.
I'm
Be
glad
careful what
they
you wish for.
I'm glad they're giving him another year to cook and then didn't just Quinn Ewers got hurt. All right, Arch Manning's just he played good, but we're gonna let him keep it. 'Cause they could have, because when he did take over, I think he played like two games when he was. I know specifically he played Mississippi State. And he played really
Yeah.
well. So I'm glad they didn't like just kind of like, oh, we're gonna ride the hot hand. Um, because
When they threw him out against Georgia, when they benched
he
Quinn Ewers
didn't
for a
do
little bit,
shit.
he didn't look very good. He could be like he could be great next year, but I mean for Texas fans, like you guys really got to be careful because you're falling in the same territory as like the Dylan Gabriel Jackson Arnold thing where you might be let down pretty severely because
Yeah,
we have too small of a sample size of Arch Manning to know how good he is. Granted, I think Texas has done the right thing by giving him 2 years to develop before he actually gets thrown up in there. And
yeah.
Ewers has another year of eligibility. I think he's just
I
going to go
don't.
to the NFL, but he's probably not
Yeah,
going to be a very high pick, maybe fourth, third round.
I
But
did see something about him transferring to Oregon.
it makes sense.
Like, but I don't know why the fuck you would come back for the year. Like, I mean, yeah, you could probably raise your draft stock playing in Oregon with that fucking high tempo offense. But like, does that fit his play style? I don't know.
I don't think he's as mobile as like they like their quarterbacks to be.
Yeah,
Going from Bo Nix, who's reasonably mobile, Dylan Gabriel's reasonably mobile. Quinn Ewers is a little bit slower to me. Like he could run a little bit, but I don't think he could run like those two guys that they've had the past couple of years.
you know. You said you went with the Arizona State game.
Yeah, that was just complete
That was
complete domination.
such a fun game. I
This
will
is also worst
say,
performance because Iowa State was the only team that really had a bad performance, I think.
I did take a note of this game. I don't remember exactly when it was, but it was in the first two quarters when Arizona State they went for it on fourth down. I want to say it was in the first quarter.
Oh,
They
yeah,
went for it on
yeah.
fourth down and got that huge fucking gain. Just
Nearly a touchdown.
let's see if we can find it. It was like super early.
It was
Um,
like fourth down in their own territory. It was a
yeah, it was ballsy as fuck. This is it right here. What was this their second drive of the game? And they were down.
fourth and
They
one
were down by four.
on their own 34.
Yeah, let's go for it. Pick up 63 yards to come and take the lead. I think that really kind of just captured the momentum of the game, and it was just kind of downhill from there. Because I mean, after that, Arizona State or Iowa State didn't do shit. Um, that was I don't know. To me, that
That
was
that was
like
a
that was the
crazy.
play of the game.
It was probably the play of the weekend, really thinking about it now that you say that.
Yeah,
Like it was one of those plays where you were thinking they're just gonna hand the ball off to Scattaboo, get a
100%.
yard, and then
They
they're
went
just like, no,
deep.
we're launching all the way. And that guy was wide open.
Such a risky play. He could have overthrew it. Could have underthrew it. Could have been covered, and you just didn't realize what kind of fucking defense they were in.
That play doesn't work out, they might lose this game. The momentum might just shift all the way in
Yeah,
Iowa
because
State's favor.
because they would have been down what 14-3 if Iowa State scores a touchdown. So that's a big hill to climb back from when you're primarily a running team.
Dillingham's like he might be like one of the best
I
coaches in the game.
I'm so sad we lost him, but I'm happy for him. He's actually a head coach and he's doing his thing, and he's
I guess this is his alma mater, so he's probably not leaving Arizona State. He's probably gonna stay there unless he
oh,
gets
okay.
like a huge bag from
Yeah,
a big school. But until then, I think he's just gonna stay here, and he's a cool guy. He donated all of his bonus to like lower staff members that probably don't get paid very much.
that's cool.
He's a great coach, and he makes gutsy decisions. I can't think of the only other coach I can think of that makes those decisions is Dan Lanning right
Fucking
now.
Brian Kelly.
But Brian Kelly's for some
It
reason never work out.
did against Bama last year.
Yeah, that was true. That was true.
I'll never forget that shit.
That
But
was a good
yeah,
game though.
yeah. When that fourth down play, I don't know, that shit stood out to me like immediately. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this game's completely turned. I literally I pulled up my phone and I had to write that shit down. I don't normally ever do that. I'm mostly just kind of like the day of our podcast episode. I'm like doing my notes and I'm like forgetting what even happened over the week. I'm just having to like go back and look at the scores. I'm like, I don't know which game I watched. And then I come in here and I'm just kind of like winging the fucking episode. But that one specifically, I had to write that shit down. I was like,
No,
oof,
and Scatterby was just
menace.
an amazing player. He's player of the week for me, obviously. I don't know if there's another player that had like quite the dominance of
I
Cam
went with
Scatterby.
Dylan Gabriel.
He had a fantastic game too.
283, 4 touchdowns, 95 QBR against Penn State's defense.
That's a good defense he's playing. Very
Yeah,
good
I mean,
defense.
I wanted to go Scatterboo, but I was like, yeah, I don't know. There was another player I was thinking.
The other one I was considering was Tez Johnson for Oregon. He had a like
That dude's
181 yards or something like that.
that dude's so good. Maybe it was Cade Klubnik. He had 4 touchdowns. I want to say there was. I feel like there was somebody that had like five or some shit. Maybe it was Carson Daly, but he didn't have a lot of yards. I think he just vultured all the fucking goal line yards.
Yeah,
I'd be pissed.
I wish I would have lined some games up because I went back to our video from last week. I was like, I feel like I got almost all of these right, and the one I didn't get right though was Army Tulane. I thought Tulane was gonna win that.
I think yeah, I think I went Tulane as well. Tulane's quarterback transferred to Duke.
Oh, Mensa.
Yeah,
That's a what's going on with old Murphy?
Malik Murphy. I
Is he
think
leaving?
he's in the portal.
Hey, come to OU. I think he'd be solid.
I really wanted the Liberty quarterback.
Salter, where's Salter going? Has he
I don't
gone
know.
anywhere?
We was it was us, Syracuse, UCLA hopped in, maybe Notre Dame, and I can't remember the fifth team. I can't remember, but I honestly I thought we was potentially gonna get him. I knew it was Castellanos or him, and I was like, I'd be cool with either of them. I think Salter's slightly better,
He's a little bit more
refined, I think.
yeah, and he's kind of a little bit better of a passer.
Yeah, but
Um
Castellanos, I guess, has 2 years of eligibility, so
and then that's you're gonna need that.
we fucking need that because I don't know. I mean, well, fuck, I'll get to it later. Probably fucking get up on my soapbox. Disappointing performance by a
Let's see.
player.
Oh yeah, I already went with Wisner.
Oh, it's
Um
Carson Beck.
yeah, I would considered him, he
I mean,
got hurt, so
I know he got hurt,
I
but
gave him like a little bit of a benefit. But he played
even
like horrible.
even before, like even before that, he didn't do shit. I don't know. He's just not been playing well. Like, I mean, this is super inflated because of the overtime game or the fucking eight overtime. So, I mean, that's UMass, sorry ass team. It's just I don't know. They played
Carson
decently against
Beck
Tennessee.
honestly looks like he doesn't care this whole season. He just looks
He's
like he doesn't care.
he's fucking killed his draft stock so bad. He probably went from a first round to
He's looking at
maybe
like fifth,
five. Yeah.
and he was like projected like a top 10 pick at the start of the season.
I mean, if he's actually really good, if he's good, somebody's gonna get a steal late in the draft. If you can pick him up and refine him back to like what he was.
I
I
saw this
I don't know
Snapchat
what the
of
fuck's wrong
him,
with him.
and I don't know if it's real or not, but it looked like it was being passed off as if it was a real Snapchat. But he was like, somebody like run me over so I don't have to play football anymore. It was like something along those lines. Like and he was like, I guess like kind of like laughing and joking during one of their losses, like on the sideline, like just looked like he does not care.
Yeah, maybe
Maybe he
just
really does. I don't know. He just hasn't looked like it this season.
maybe he just doesn't enjoy the game anymore. I don't know. Maybe he came back just I don't know why the fuck he came back. I feel like he could have got drafted last year. I mean, he didn't have
Yeah.
I mean, he had a better year last year than he did this year. I don't know. Maybe he thought he could come back and maybe improve his draft stock, but he definitely don't look hungry at all.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is, I don't know if he's going to be able to play in the playoffs. That's like kind of a question mark. I think he will be, and he has a chance to raise like if they go all the way to the championship. I think he could raise his draft stock, but he really needs to play well in these playoffs. Let's
This was
see.
2 days ago.
No timetable for his return. That's not a good thing to hear.
Them getting a bye is really good for them if he can potentially come back.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope he. I really don't care if
Oh
he
yeah,
comes
they
back
lost
or
their
not.
punter too.
That was actually a major loss for him because he's a
Season-ending
very good
surgery.
punter.
Holy shit. That was a non-contact injury too, I think. That sucks. That's a
That
huge loss. You lose your quarterback and then a fucking your punter.
Yeah, really good punter. That fake punt they ran was like a big play this weekend too, where they like tossed it to that guy. He got a first down
Mm.
because it they were
Considered a
there wasn't looking good either.
He was considered a potential number one pick in next year's draft before the season started. How the mighty have fallen.
It's
Mm-mm-mm.
unfortunate.
Hate to see
Um,
it. That hit he took was pretty fucking shit was pretty nasty. He got smoked. That shit it just looked bad. I was like, oh,
and
ugh.
they're playing at the Sugar Bowl. That kind of favors them too. Like there's gonna be a lot of
Fuck,
Georgia
of course
fans
they're in
there.
the Sugar Bowl.
I like the one that's most interesting to me is Boise State at the Fiesta Bowl because they have a just a history at the Fiesta Bowl.
You,
Um,
you don't want to be in the Fiesta Bowl at Boise State.
and I don't know, like I'm just like
You don't want
Boise
to be
State in the
there.
Fiesta Bowl, like it just sounds like a good time, like a
Did you
fun
see
game.
Post Malone? He was at the UNLV game with for their championship, and so Um, Boise State won the game. They broke the fucking goalpost off, like snapped that shit off, and took it and threw it in the Boise River, right? And then Post Malone after the game, he was out like, kind of partying. I guess he normally does that, just out and about. And then I guess some frat seeing he was there, went and got the fucking goalpost out of the river and drug it all the way back for him to sign
What the
it. I don't know how true this is, but I seen this story somewhere and I was like, you know what? I actually believe that. That makes sense. So
Post Malone? Like he's all right, but I'm not jumping in a river to get him to sign
I
a
don't. Why the fuck's he at a
goalpost.
Boise State game?
He's a football guy. I
I,
think he likes football.
maybe he's fucking with Genty like everybody else should be. I just thought that was fucking hilarious. So, they got the blessing of Post Malone. They got the Fiesta Bowl at their back. They got history. They're gonna pull the Statue of Liberty. I hope they have to do it, right? They have to do it,
Just imagine them
right?
pulling
They
off
have.
the
They have.
upset.
They have to do it.
They got to bring the trickery out that
Dude, if
they.
I'm either of these teams and I get to this game and it's kind of getting close to the end of the game and Boise State has the ball, I'm selling out for the Statue of Liberty. It's not happening again.
Oh man, I brings back bad memories.
See, I was gonna bring that one up when I talked about the Michigan App State upset, but I didn't want to upset you, Nick. But
That was
now
one of
that
the
we're
first.
here,
That was one of the first just like heartbreaking losses of me watching football because that was like when I first was really starting to get into football, probably like fourth grade. And I remember that play and just
he's
being
just
like,
like,
what was that? And it was Adrian Peterson's last game too. So, and he was hurt like almost the entire season, like broken collarbone. Like did miss like the whole second half of the season. He comes back for this game.
Boise State said, "Fuck Adrian Peterson."
I was like, this is ridiculous. And then that dude like goes and proposes to his
Yeah,
like girlfriend, like the cheerleader. I'm just like, this
was
will be
that
great.
Jay
This will be
Ajayi?
great.
No, that wasn't Jay Ajayi. He played at Boise State, but
I can't remember
I don't know why
what
the
the
fuck
guy's
I thought it
name
was
was.
Ajayi. It's before him.
Gets down on one knee.
It was just meant to
And they hit him
be.
with a trick play like to get that score, I think, before they did the 2 point conversion because it was like some lateral like they got the ball like they threw it like to a slant route and then the receiver like lateraled it to another receiver and then they got the touchdown. And that was before the Statue of Liberty.
Mm.
And then they do that and I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
That'd have been sick. Would have been sick.
I didn't like Boise State for like 2 or 3 years after
I,
that.
I've liked Boise State for fucking ages. That just
I
I think the field and like their uniforms, I'm like I fuck with it heavy.
yeah. I liked them. I like them quite a bit now, obviously, a lot of
Yeah.
times passed and they're just like they're one of those fun like smaller schools that like they
I want to
shouldn't be
say
good.
I want to say they've beat us before. Back after Jameis Winston. I feel like they beat us.
That sounds about right actually.
I'm pretty sure they did. I think we opened the season against them once.
They're
Yeah, I don't know.
they've
Wouldn't be.
consistently been like really good, like just like quietly good.
They're cool. They're a cool team.
Now they finally got their chance at a championship.
Yeah, and I think them
It could
even.
happen. Like I don't think
Yeah,
it will, but it could.
I think them getting this far too. They get a good bit of couple mil, so maybe they can use that for I don't know, fucking NIL or I don't know what they can use it for, but they got it. So
I
I
don't know.
think
Like if you're a running back, I say go to Boise State. They obviously shown something.
no, I'm not. No, no way. All, Genty is he's doing that shit himself. That offensive line's not that great.
It's decent.
They're
Not great.
okay,
Not as good for pass protection. I don't think. I
dude.
don't know.
Like
Their passing game's kind of like mid. It's
I
not
seen
terrible, but
this.
it's not great.
I seen this thing. It was like if you switch Travis Hunter and Genty teams, who's having the better season? Travis Hunter on Boise State or Genty on Colorado?
Colorado's O line is not good.
Yeah, but Boise State's not that good
But
either.
Boise State doesn't have a quarterback that's really that good either. So I'd
He
almost
might.
say I just say it like cancels out, and I would say Genty probably has like the better
I don't know.
year, but I don't think he's not doing this with Colorado's line. Like their line is not good.
You don't think so?
No, I mean they've
I
been
think their
more of a
line's
passing team.
way more improved. I
Oh,
mean
it's
the
way better than last year. And
well then
a lot of the sacks and stuff that they give up with the
it's
pass game,
all
a lot of them
fucking
are
Shador's
Shador's
fault.
fault.
Yeah. But
But like
you'd have
sacks aren't
Shador to
either.
take pressure off the run game and allow Genty to just fucking
That is
go
true. They
stupid.
could. I think Colorado might be like a playoff, like championship caliber team if they had a really good running back. Um,
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, just imagine if Genty was on like Bama or something. He'd be automatic Heisman. It's just crazy that just because he's on Boise State, he doesn't like he's just not getting the proper respect. Like it should
No,
be a lot closer of a race.
it's just because Travis Hunter plays for fucking Deion Sanders. He's also a cornerback.
It's the
The
two
media
sides of the
hype,
ball thing. I think is
the
the main thing.
the media hype train of Colorado. It's just like it looks good. It's just it's annoying. I still think Genty should win.
It's a really close like coin flip for me, but I feel like Genty's just like it's really this past weekend when he rushed for another 200-yard game. He's for sure gonna break the like official record because Barry Sanders like bowl game didn't count.
How much
But
does he
if they win a
have?
game, he could break the entire record.
But 24.97. What does he need? 26 something?
Yeah, 26 like 55 for the official
So
record, and
we'll
then
just put him at 500. So if he gets 200 yards, he should hit it.
yeah, and he's gonna get very close to breaking the official record. And if they win,
But then
he's
he's
probably
gonna
gonna
have
break the actual
to
thing.
potentially run for 200 on Penn State.
That's gonna be tough.
Ugh. I wish the fucking Heisman was later because if he put 200 on fucking Penn State too, then you'd be like, okay, this dude's fucking legit. Penn
One thing I
State,
hate is the oh they don't play anybody good. I'm so sick of that being an argument for against anything in college football. That's all you guys want to say. Oh,
yeah,
they didn't
okay.
play any good. Why don't good running backs from small schools do this every year then?
That's what I'm saying. Why has nobody ever at Boise State ever done this? Or
Like they're act
any school. Yeah, any school in fucking some shit bag conference or the Big 12 or with no defense, the ACC. You know what I mean? It's the Pac-12 when there was no fucking defense over there. Why has nobody done this?
yeah, and he ran like Oregon's a solid defense. He ran all over them. Like
Yeah,
it's not like
he was killing them.
I guarantee you
He's
he's
gonna
gonna
have
put
at least
100 plus on Penn
150.
State.
Yeah, he'll have 150, I think. Shit, watch he fucking goes for like 300 because they're gonna have to ride the fuck out of him. They have to.
Honestly, I could make the argument that if he played it on a better team, he might actually do even better than he's doing this year.
He probably have broke the record already.
Because like imagine he's on a
Oh,
team that has
and
a
then
solid quarterback.
and I'm pretty sure he's missed like 8 quarters of football.
Yeah, because he didn't play the second half for a few games.
So you give 8 quarters just 50 yards for each one, he's fucking blown the record out. Like
I think you got to give him the
it
Heisman. I mean,
has to be, but people don't fucking think about that. They're
I
just
mean,
like,
because like I don't get me wrong. I think Travis Hunter has had a great year,
no,
like a
no,
year we will
absolutely.
probably never see again. Well, I mean, maybe once or
Oh,
twice, but you know, it's gonna be a long
now that
time.
he's doing it, people are gonna do it. It's gonna happen again.
But
This is not
it's other than Charles Woodson, nothing like that has ever
so it's been
happened.
done before because Charles Woodson did it.
Yeah, I mean, but that was like we were maybe 1 years old when that happened.
But
It's
then
been
they're
a
like,
long time ago.
yeah, but they're like, oh, he said you've never seen anybody like me, Charles Woodson.
I don't
He's
know.
kind of like you.
I think I want to say like Travis Hunter is a lot better on the
No,
offensive end
absolutely,
than,
but
than Charles Woodson was.
he's not doing anything just absolutely revolutionary.
It sucks that they are both this year. Like
I agree.
I hate it. I almost wish you could just give two people the Heisman, but you can't.
I was just about to say that, like a tie. That'd
It
be
happens in the
sick.
NFL. They've had co-MVPs in the NFL a couple times.
If any year was gonna have a fucking co-Heisman, it'd be this one. It should be this one. Should be.
I would say all four nominees, like
They're all
you
so
you
good.
you you put them in a different year. A lot of them have a lot better of a shot of winning it. Like Cam Ward, those are crazy stats.
Yeah.
A lot of years that probably get the job done. Doing
Almost
Gabriel with
almost any
the
year.
wins, yeah.
It's crazy. I kind of feel bad for him, but fuck him. At the same time.
I like Cam Ward. I just don't like Miami.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just mad he went to
'Cause
Miami.
I liked him quite a bit at Washington State, and then I don't know, he went to Miami, and I'm
Shit.
just I don't like Miami.
Here I am as a Giants fan, hoping we draft him over Shador.
It's a tough one. I think both of them are gonna be really good.
I don't want
Um,
Shador. He's too fucking. He just watching him in the backfield trying to run around, make a play happen, and getting sacked for 10 fucking yards. You're like, what are you doing, dude? He's gonna
I
get fucking murdered in the NFL doing that shit.
I have faith he's not gonna do it as much in the
Not with our
NFL.
fucking team coaching him.
He's I don't the Giants are in a bad spot. Like I don't your guys' future looks bleak right now. Especially, you know, your star player goes to your rival and is about to break the
The rushing
like
record.
single season rushing record, which is just
Yeah.
good for
I don't
him
know.
though. Good for him. They really didn't treat him very well, I don't
Nah,
think.
fuck no, they didn't. Oh, we're gonna sign Daniel Jones. Like, oh, fuck off. I didn't want Daniel Jones in the first place.
Yeah. And Daniel Jones, maybe his career resurges at some point.
Hey, he's chilling in fucking Minnesota. Just waiting for the demise of Sam Darnold.
What like I don't know what the Giants could do. Like you guys are just in this like peculiar spot where like
Oh, I mean, we just need a quarterback for the most part to because our offense is dreadful. The defense is not terrible. The defense can manage. We got a good running back. We got a good receiver. We just need a quarterback. Like really, like that's our biggest need outside some just random spots. But we just can't fucking move the ball because Daniel Jones dog shit.
I kind of like Shador a little bit better for you guys because like you got to think last year he had like one of the worst O lines in all of college football. Like he's used to having bad lines,
I guess.
and he doesn't throw interceptions that often.
Yeah,
Like
but
he's really smart with the ball.
can he take that many hits in the NFL?
That's the question. He's gonna have to bulk up a little bit, I would say.
Cam Ward's way bigger. I just want Cam Ward. That man's a fucking magician in the pocket. And he can run. He just doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they're both gonna be good quarterbacks.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't know. I just want Cam. I don't know.
yeah, but I saw a video of Dion talking to Antonio Pierce saying telling the Raiders to draft him. So I would assume he probably goes to the Raiders.
I think we
Um,
might be ahead of the Raiders
yeah, yeah. So I think
in the
Shador is probably
draft.
going to slip to like 4 or 3 or wherever the Raiders are going to be.
He
Cam
better
Ward
fucking
probably goes number one.
man better get on the phone by yeah, you draft me, I ain't fucking playing. He better be doing that. I'm going to the Raiders. That's his best bet. Because if he don't, we're gonna fucking draft him, and then he's just gonna sit there, and then we're gonna look like fucking idiots for drafting him, and he's not gonna play. And then we're
But
back where we are now with a fucking Tommy Cutlets. I love that man. This shit's hilarious. Our team's a fucking meme.
it's just
Makes me sick.
I'm
All
getting
right.
kind of sick of the Pacers. I ain't gonna lie, a little bit. Like,
Nah, Drake May, you guys feature looking decent.
well, Robert Kraft's already like considering firing Jared Mayo. I'm like,
That's
man,
his first year.
he had nothing to work with this year. Like, what are you doing, dude? Like, I'm getting just it's Robert Kraft specifically that I'm just starting to hate. Like, he's just annoying. He wants to take the credit for everything. I don't know, man. I'm done
Welcome
with
to the
NFL.
Cowboys world. Yeah, I fucking
I'm done with NFL.
I hate the NFL. That shit's fucking annoying. It's not entertaining.
Like in college football, I could watch just like two random
Any
teams and be happy about it. In NFL, I only want to watch my team. That's it.
Yeah.
And lately, they're not been good enough for me to even really want to watch them.
Yep.
College is just a more of an exciting game for me. So I mean, we could talk about the Heisman. I mean, we already just talked about the Heisman.
Genty
Genty or
and
Hunter. I think at this point I'm leaning Genty.
but
Um,
I think Hunter's gonna win it.
Hunter has way higher odds. He's gonna win it. That
Yeah.
just is what it is. Unfortunately, hopefully, like Genty
Hopefully the
gets like a decent
voters
amount of like first place votes at least.
hopefully the voters fucking actually like think about it and not just like go with just the flash. Just like actually look at it and like look what the fuck's happened. Look at the production across the board. Look at the missed production in Genty's case. He could have had, should have had. Um, it's not like he's missed any games to injury. So it's not like you like, oh, if he didn't play, if he didn't get hurt, he would have so on and so forth. No, it's not the case.
Yeah,
So,
that's true. What was I
and
gonna
Hunter
say?
missed fucking, what did he miss? Like 2 games?
Yeah, he did. He was hurt that one game. Didn't play at all. Then he's had some games where he didn't play good on offense, like at all. And he had like a string of games like between interceptions where he didn't have any interceptions
He's only got four.
for a while. So
He's got
he's
four.
good. Don't get me wrong. Like
No,
it's a,
he's really good.
I would say he's deserving of it. Like but like I don't know. Genty's just having such a great year. It's
It's
just
you got Barry Sanders and you got Travis Hunter. Who the fuck are you giving it to?
exactly,
Giving it to Barry Sanders.
exactly. But
Come on.
I mean, I'm happy either way that it's not going to just a ginormous school. It's not going to Ohio
True.
State or
True.
something. It's going to go to a smaller school. Um, One thing I was going to talk about because we hadn't really touched on it this year, Coach of the Year. Who would you give that to?
Mm.
For me, I'd give it to Dillingham,
Yeah.
but
Um.
Signetti,
Yeah, he's got a lot of
Even Dion.
Signetti's got a lot of hype around him. Dion for sure. Um. I mean, obviously it's gonna be a top one of the top ranked schools.
SMU's guy, probably in consideration.
See, I mean, you got to think about it. So you got Oregon undefeated. I feel like their coach would beat out, any of these coaches. Signetti, Indiana's first fucking 11 win season. Um, Boise State's probably first 12 win season. I don't know. SMU's first season in the ACC, making the ACC championships. You got that going for them. Arizona State's first season in the Big 12. They win the Big 12. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like the Arizona State, first season Big 12 winning it is. Oh, you got Oregon too. First season in the Big 10, they win it. So I feel like
Yeah,
those two right there are automatically above everybody. That's a fucking huge accomplishment. And SMU's like right there almost with that same thing. All three schools first year in conferences almost won.
yeah. And I don't even know
So
if Arizona State's ever won a conference, even when they're in the Pac-12, Pac-10.
I don't think Arizona State's also ever won 11 games. So
See, like for me, for a coach of the year, what I'm looking for is a guy that took a team that was bad and
yeah,
like turned them into a good team. Like Dan Lanning's done a great job.
everybody knew Oregon was gonna fucking be good. Knew it.
Yeah, and honestly, they weren't bad when he took over, like in
No.
the first place.
So yeah, I'd go not Dan Landing, fucking Dillingham or uh Signetti. But
Yeah,
you gotta look at the fucking schedule they played. I'd go Dillingham or SMU's coach.
yeah. I
Or
mean, I would say shout out
with a
Army's coach
tie
too.
tie with Boise State for second. Dion 3.
Yeah. UNLV, it looks like their head coach took the job. I can't remember where he took the job, but he left. So it looks like that the guy we wanted for offensive coordinator, is probably going to get promoted to head coach at UNLV. So that's probably
Mm,
why he's stuck around.
that's unfortunate. I really wanted it, but I'm glad we got Gus Malzahn.
He's a solid, and it's interesting that led to like a weird like domino effect. Now Scott Frost is back at UCF.
Yeah.
That's kind of an interesting thing that happened as a result of that. I think Malzahn brings a lot uh, for Florida State. I guess we could kind of hop into
Let me
team
let me
talk slash
let me go
portal
pee real
talk.
quick.
All right, but yeah, I'll
I guess
keep
if
the
you
crowd
wanna
entertained.
talk about some random
Um,
shit or talk about OU or whatever the fuck you want.
yeah, I'll just talk about the portal. Let's see what we got going on with the portal right now. Um, looking up some portal news, seeing what we have. It's been quiet on the Oklahoma front. Let's see what we have so far. Transfer portal. He was saying Mensa is going to Duke. I thought that was kind of an interesting thing. Malik Murphy, I didn't think he was that deep into his tenure. I didn't think he was a senior, so he's probably coming back. He's probably in the portal. Let's see. James Robinson going from South Alabama to some school I don't know. Got a linebacker going from TCU to Texas State. A lot of these guys are kind of downgrading schools that I'm seeing so far. Looks like we don't have any major news. It looks like Preston Stone for SMU, who was the original starter for SMU. He jumped into the portal. He was a really highly touted recruit coming out of high school. I think he was like, I want to say he was the highest rated recruit SMU's ever got. So that's kind of an interesting portal addition. Preston Stone at quarterback. He's going to be, people are going to take a shot on him. Let's see what else we got here. I'm not seeing a whole lot of transfer portal news. My boy
Well,
Belichick.
oh yeah, I guess we talk about that real quick. I'm looking for a fucking transfer portal tracker. Yeah, I guess we just touch on fucking Belichick real quick since we just fucking seen it. That shit's
Yeah.
crazy. I remember they was talking about like a week or two ago when it first kind of got whispered. Um, but then like him actually taking it is kind of nuts. And I seen this one thing. It was like because I guess he's been like traveling around like talking to head coaches and stuff. It's funny because like, what if he's like been doing that to kind of get the inside scoop on all these fucking teams? Like, oh, let me look at your playbook. Let me scan this real quick. And now he's got the fucking inside scoop on a lot of these teams potentially. I don't know. Just I thought it
I
was
wonder
funny.
how quick. I mean, because like he's an older coach, so like he's obviously probably trying to make a run quick.
Oh, 100%. He's not just trying to sit there and fucking coach for 10 years. He's like,
So
oh, let me see if
I
I
think
can win
he's
a
trying to win
championship.
in like probably like the next like 3 years. This is
Yeah.
probably the one year where they're going to be kind of in rebuild mode, and then after that, he's probably going all in. And I think if you just give him like you were saying, just like above average talent, I think he could stretch that talent out very far in
And they
comparison
got
to a
good
lot of coaches.
coordinators.
Yeah, and I'm hoping he brings McDaniels with him at OC. That would just
McDaniels
be.
in college would be kind of nuts.
I feel like he'd be good. I feel like he'd be like a Lane Kiffin like style
Yeah.
coach.
Like I was telling you, I feel like he said he was going to run a pro style offense. Like I don't know how well that's going to work. I don't know.
It's weird because
Because
it's like
imagine the Patriots offense in North Carolina.
it's weird. I mean, like I would say that like his style is more suited for like the Big Ten. The ACC
Yeah,
is a weird place for him to be, but I
it
like it.
is.
I
I
like
don't
it. I
like
think it,
it.
it puts him. I think that puts North Carolina as far as like
They're towards the
um
top now.
towards the top of next year. And like a lot of teams are like kind of just open because Miami's gonna be losing Cam Ward. We'll
Yep.
see if they find a valid replacement for him. I would say Florida State's probably gonna be like improving. They're
Yeah.
not they're not gonna be as bad next
Like
year. Like,
Clemson will still be on top. SMU will probably still be up there if they still have
yeah,
oh boy. I don't remember if he's a senior or not, their quarterback.
I'm just thinking
It's
about
it's
like that
crazy.
like the coaches in the ACC having to match up against Belichick. Like that's
Mm.
insane. Like none of these guys are like of his caliber of like football knowledge. Like none of them. Not the only
But
guy in
college is different.
it is different. It is different, but he's like defense. I feel like is
Oh,
his specialty.
defense is the same. It's the same.
Like just he's gonna confuse these college quarterbacks so much.
Oh my God, it's gonna be awful.
Bill O'Brien's got to be punched in the air right now because he was trying to do the same thing that Belichick's about to do.
Well, Boston
Um,
College is like semi-solid this year.
they've looked solid, but now he has to coach against his old coach. I don't think he was ever able to beat Belichick. Like he was probably like, oh, finally. I'm like.
free. I'm
I
free.
could bring the NFL game to the ACC.
I'm free of Nick Saban too.
I feel like he just gave Belichick the idea. Like Belichick's like,
Probably.
oh, hey, my boy Bill O'Brien's doing
It's
it.
it's like
Like
a it's it feels like it's like a retirement league for like these old NFL coaches. They're like, yeah, we'll just go fucking run amok in college football and just build a super team real quick since we can just pay people now, just kind of like the NFL. It's the exact same.
he's the only like it's the only thing he hasn't done in his career too. Like he's never coached college. It's weird. Like you would have thought like at some point he had. And I feel like every coach at some point wants to try to do the other.
Oh
Like
yeah, look at Jim Harbaugh. He won the fucking national championship, so he's like, all right, let me hop to the NFL.
NFL. I expect Kirby Smart at some point to do the same. I expect him
Oh
to
yeah, for
try
sure.
to jump to the NFL. You saw Nick Saban try it, didn't work out, but he wanted to try it,
Yeah,
gave it a shot, didn't work out, went right back to college. But hey, you tried it.
yeah, props to that. And then now he's best college coach of all time.
So Belichick's probably just thinking like, do I
Shit.
really just want to like never coach in college? Like I got to give it a shot.
Yeah, could be vice versa. Nick Saban, maybe he was really good in the NFL. Maybe he ain't very good at college. It's possible. You got
Yeah,
these fucking finicky ass kids that, especially now with no contracts, they can do whatever the fuck they want. It's the Wild West out here.
everybody's saying he's probably not going to do good in college. I think he will because I just think
It might just take him a little bit to get going.
he just needs to like find the guys that are like just like dedicated, have the right mindset. Like
Yeah,
forget these 5 star like guys that
the divas.
yeah, like the 5 star guys are annoying. They don't pan out half the time anyway. Like look at like Jackson
Oh,
Arnold.
yeah, and the good ones that fucking wanna like show up and play and perform and put the work in, they'll come. You know,
Yeah.
he's he's
I don't know.
He's got everything that you can learn to make it to the NFL outside of your talent. If you have the talent and you can show up there and you can just take everything he can give you, all the tips, all the advice, all the work ethic he can try to help you build, you're gonna get looked at. Everybody on that team's gonna get looked at in some form or fucking fashion. So all you gotta do is fucking put the work in. So if I'm fucking a college recruit, I'm looking specifically at Colorado, North Carolina. Those are the top two. You got two fucking NFL high vis NFL coaches and players. They have all the fucking eyes on them. So if you think you can hack it, that's where I would be looking to go. You know,
Yeah.
Makes sense to
I
me.
think it's just gonna
It's crazy.
I just can't believe he's in college now. That's
It's
the
cool.
craziest thing. And he apparently he has a thing in his contract that's a big rumor that like his son's like pretty much guaranteed to be the next head coach of North Carolina after Belichick
Is his son
retires.
even any good? He's a defensive coordinator, right?
He was solid. I don't know. It's hard to say because like he was solid at the Patriots, but like it was also Belichick running the defense, so it's kind of hard to like was it him or was it his dad? He was at Washington this year. I don't think they had a great defense, but they're also in a rebuild year, so it's also
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
hard.
hard to judge. We'll
Was
find
this
out. I
his?
think we'll find out a lot more here at North Carolina how good he really is.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting next year, really. There's a lot of moving parts, a lot of shit going on with just teams in general, transfers, people moving around, um, quarterback carousels.
The portal is just like
It's
I
fucking
don't know.
chaos.
I'm
It's
just like irritated because like we're losing more than we're getting so far. So
I kind of feel the same way. Wide receiver is hot commodity so far.
ooh,
220 in the portal as of Wednesday. Jesus
you
Christ.
give us some of those. It looks like Wigman's going to Houston. That's a solid
Mm.
pickup for Houston.
hmm And we've been going fucking stupid on wide receivers. At this point, I'm like, can we stop? Like, I feel like we have too many, and we're going for like 6'4" and above, like big motherfuckers, like Mike Evans and Johnny Wilson from last year. Like,
You could never have enough receivers. That's one thing I learned this year. You
it's
could never
crazy. Oh
have
yeah,
enough receivers.
you're in a fucking ooh, that's huge for Utah. This dude was supposed to be, a hot commodity at QB.
Yeah.
That's huge for Utah.
Yeah, Cam Rising apparently is gonna be transferring most likely.
He fucking has to. There's
Um,
no.
I wouldn't mind though you maybe giving him a shot at this point. I don't care.
Imagine this is your
Mince's
backup,
backup.
because yes, damn fucking Tulane lost two quarterbacks. That sucks. Um,
NC State could use the help. Had a disappointing year this year, so
I don't know
they're
where
gonna
the
try
fuck you
to.
got at Mississippi State though. How him I'm standing NC State. NC State's been pumping out defensive linemen.
Yeah, Mississippi State, they're trying to retool. Jackson Arnold most likely is going to go to Mississippi State. I don't know how well that works out, but that's the favor right now. Um,
Their wide receivers gone.
Minnesota landed a QB, Georgia Tech transfer. Didn't see any of him. They have that uh Haynes King's leaving, I think.
That
And what's that? What's
Philo
that other?
kid.
What? Yeah, Philo is probably going to be the starter for Georgia Tech moving into next year. I would, if I had to guess.
I feel like this is kind of good for Minnesota. I like Minnesota a lot. They're kind of like one of my favorite teams. I like PJ Fleck, I think is their coach.
Yeah, PJ Fleck. Yeah, he's a good coach.
So I mean that's not too bad. Oh shit. Oh shit. What just happened?
Went
Okay.
to Twitter.
God damn it.
I'm not calling it X. It's so stupid.
I actually just remade it Twitter, so I'll have to follow you. You still use Twitter?
No, I got off of it.
Did you?
Yeah, I might hop back on there eventually, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really like social media as much anymore. Like the algorithms are just set
Hey,
up
they're
to piss you off. I feel like
they're very bad.
that's
Texas
big.
Tech, cool for them. Arkansas.
Give us a lineman, man. Like give us something.
That's what
Like
I'm saying.
we're not getting anything. We're just losing receiver. Like we're losing the work like the position we need the most.
That's what I'm saying. We need fucking linemen too.
Former Bama linebacker had it
Going to
handy.
fucking. Is this the dude that was talking about fucking divorced daughter? Is this the guy?
I don't know. Well, I didn't even hear this story. What happened with
I,
Devore's daughter?
maybe it wasn't divorced daughter. There's something happened to a Bama linebacker or player on the defense said something to a girl about something about his dick. Um, I think he got kicked off the team or some shit.
Ah,
I wonder if this is him. I don't know.
could be. Wisconsin,
Yeah,
in the
good. This dude's
portal.
fucking trash.
Yeah, he wasn't
Kick
very
rocks.
good.
I don't know.
Wisconsin could
This
use a quarterback if they could get anybody out the portal.
this dude will end up in Iowa. Watch.
Probably. So I would say Salter would be a good fit in Wisconsin, really. If he was considering them. They need like a Russell Wilson type of guy to bring him back. Portal's just not given.
Weird. Yeah, this dude's going to Iowa. I feel it.
Iowa's been
I love shitty quarterbacks.
they can't get a good quarterback.
Yeah,
Well, there's
kick
there's you guys.
kick rocks. This dude is just he's terrible. It's not. Uh, see ya.
But also that's kind of how I'm feeling with our guys that are leaving. Where I'm like, if you don't want to be here, then fuck off
Yeah, see
anyway.
ya.
Like whatever, man. Like
Hey,
y'all just want
Arizona's
to
lost
embarrass.
fucking. That's three defensive backs I seen. What's that? This guy, this guy.
They're losing Fafita too. I'm about to look up like kind of where Fafita's.
Here's another one. That's three defensive backs from Arizona. God damn.
Where is
Right?
Fafita leaning towards? Because I haven't really heard much about him at all.
Yeah, me neither.
Um, not a whole lot of
That's interesting. I feel like he'd be a top prospect.
I don't know if it's kind of looking like he hasn't officially entered the portal yet.
He
So
probably
that's
hasn't. I haven't heard anything about it.
that's in like it's like there's a heavy rumors about it, but he hasn't done it. Same thing with the Washington State guy we're trying to get. There's like rumors he was entering the portal, but it hasn't officially happened yet. Fafita needs to leave there though. That's just not a good place for him anymore.
Okay, we'll take this guy. 6'7", 305.
Hey,
Shit, we'll take him.
uh, South.
Are you fucking leaving?
I love it when people use that scene.
Yeah, Darian Minshew went to
That's
Duke.
so weird, Malik Murphy. I thought he was solid this year. Um, shit, I would take Malik Murphy. I'll take any quarterback we could get. I do like Michael Hawkins, but
Malik Murphy's solid. He's got a big arm and he's mobile. I think he could be an upgrade from what you guys have.
Well, one thing I didn't realize, and this is like
This
an
guy's decent. I like this guy.
Mendoza. Yeah, he's solid.
He got two more seasons too. I After watching him play in Miami, that's like the first game I got to watch him play.
He's gonna go to Miami probably.
I will fuck on him then. You don't
They're
want to
gonna
go
get
there.
some. No, no, no! I didn't see this.
With your tight end too, Bauer
Oh,
Sharp.
I don't. Bauer Sharp's the one of the worst players I've ever seen put on no uniform. So
He led the team in receptions and receiving yards.
yeah, he's trash though. He could fuck. He can't block worth a shit. He threw an
Damn.
interception against LSU. Like fuck Bauer Sharp. But
What is
Angelo
that?
Anthony, that hurts. That
Is
hurts
that is
bad.
that three wide receivers now?
That's like our three. Yeah, we lost Farouk, Nick Anderson, Angelo Anthony. All we have right now is Dion Burks
For
and
now.
Jaden Gibson, who were both hurt all the year.
Honestly, this isn't that bad. He's just coming off a 20 ACL and he only has 1 year left. Honestly, I feel like he might be coming out on top of that one.
He was great last year before he tore his ACL. The why receivers? Like I wouldn't care if we're like losing like some a position where we had some depth. Damn, we need to really break out the checkbook
Well, you got
for some
Cal's wide
receivers.
receiver here. 6'2", 210.
Hey, I'll take any receiver. There's a guy from Miami of Ohio that's looking really good as a receiver.
I think we might be getting him.
Damn, he was
I
looking really good. We're targeting
I,
him. I know that
I
much.
think. Let me uh Reginald
Yeah,
Virgil.
Reggie Virgil. Yeah, because I know we've been talking to him.
Well, maybe not. I might be tripping, but I know. So he's got.
Oklahoma. You guys, he's got you guys in there too as well.
Let's see what they had. I know they have sometimes like a percentage who they think he's going to.
I
Oh,
would.
what was that? Oh shit.
Oh wow. So that means
Ooh.
I
Ooh.
mean that means that dude's probably
Huh.
leaving.
Huh. That was 32 minutes ago. Damn.
I wonder where he goes now,
Why would he wait so long?
or is he just gonna stay under Dan Mullen?
The go stay in.
Why does he want to stay in ULV so bad?
Ah, maybe he's from there.
Oh,
Okay.
maybe he's going to Belichick. What if he goes to North Carolina?
That would be great. Maybe this dude's waiting to he's probably not gonna play in the fucking bowl game. I wonder what he's waiting for.
I don't know. I hope he comes and plays for us. We could really use a receiver.
He averaged 19.9 yards per reception.
Yeah, get us this guy and get us the quarterback from Washington State. Get us an O-line. We might be
He
good.
played high school in Florida. Hmm.
He's probably leaning towards you guys at this point.
Well, he's got
Let's
Miami on
see.
there and UCF. So,
Miami and he's got the Florida Gators as well. So
mm.
um
Honestly, if he's gonna pick, I would go to
mm,
Florida if I'm really him. They
or
probably
if
have,
Miami could get a quarterback, you might go
yeah.
that direction.
I would like to have him. Welcome to the squad.
I would love to have that guy, but we'll see. We'll see.
Anybody else? I think
Rich
this
Rodriguez is
dude's
going
this
back
dude's
to
decent.
West Virginia, so that's interesting.
Dude had 92 tackles last year.
Shit. No, you come over
Oh,
to
he's
you.
Jeremiah Trotter's son. That's why I know him.
Oh
But
yeah.
to visit Washington and Missouri. That'd be a big pickup.
For either of those schools. Florida losing some guys, it looks like.
Don't give a shit.
Texas State. Mississippi State's quarterback was not very good, that guy, so they're probably not gonna miss him very much. And they're
Well,
probably
hey,
getting Jackson Arnold.
Washington's getting some visits. Interesting.
Purdue's so bad at football.
I hate it. All I got is Drew Brees.
Um,
Um,
I would not mind. What the
uh,
fuck? Why is McCullough going into the portal? God damn, man. I ain't even looked at this shit.
Oklahoma State looks like they're getting Chandler Morris from North Texas.
He was originally somewhere else, wasn't he? Like TCU or some shit, I think.
I don't
I
know. The
think
name
so.
sounds familiar. Oh yeah,
Oh,
there's
he's
another
such
one.
a good player. Why are we losing everybody? We might suck next year unless we start signing guys. We might be 3-9 next year.
Yeah, I ain't seen you guys sign anybody.
Like, open up the checkbook, you cheap ass motherfuckers.
I think most of our big signings were in the first day. Uh,
Preston Stone,
so the old boy must be coming back next year.
yeah. I think he's Preston Stone's solid. Um, I don't know where he could go. He's gonna have to probably go to a smaller school. Blake Shapen was okay.
Oh, then that must mean that they're not gonna get Jackson Arnold unless he's gonna sit for another year.
I think he's gonna probably they're probably gonna try to start him next year. Like people still think Jackson Arnold's really good. I don't because I watched him. I watched all of his games, but he's a highly recruited guy in the portal right
Shit,
now.
this dude might just come back. Now that Belichick's coming, he might
Yeah,
just
I
like,
would.
yeah, no, I'm gonna come back.
I'm trying to go to the league.
Big facts.
Seeing all the guys leaving and us not getting anything is so frustrating. Like
Yeah,
if we just could get the ball rolling, like if we get that quarterback from Washington State, that would solve a lot of our issues.
yeah, I haven't seen you guys on anything.
Yeah, they've already looks like he's going to Oklahoma State. They needed did you hear about the Gundy situation?
Yeah, you was telling me they told him to take a pay cut or he's
Yeah,
fired.
they restructured structured his contract and
Good.
they took a major he took a pay cut and the money that he took like the money they took away from him, they redirected to their NIL collective. So that's how they're probably able to get some more
That's
portal
good.
guys this time.
This dude's
And
fourth
he's
nationally
on
in
a short leash.
offense. So that's
He's
kind of
solid.
they need somebody that can fucking throw the ball because they haven't had a good quarterback in fucking ages.
Walker Howard, he's he was what's his Ole Miss's backup. He was supposed to be pretty good. Farouk, yeah, fuck you, Farouk. Fuck you, Nick Anderson.
Anderson just out for OU. Um,
JJ Hester could go. He sucked anyway. So
that's four
I didn't
receivers.
mind. I don't care if he leaves. Um, he although he probably was the best out of all the
This dude
sixth
sounds
and seventh string guys.
he sounds decent.
Lane Kiffin says portal before bowl illustrates dumb system.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah, I would say so.
Luke,
Luke, I wouldn't mind, giving him a shot.
is he?
But also like I don't know if he's an upgrade for Michael Hawkins though. Like I don't know if he's that much better than Michael Hawkins.
He needs another year.
I would actually say Michael Hawkins is probably better. He just needs to sit.
Yep, I don't think he wants to sit though. Um, shit, you guys beat out. Missouri beat out you guys to get this guy. Maybe I'll end up going to you guys.
Yeah. I mean, like I would expect us to probably get quite a bit of defensive attention, but we need the offense is where we're struggling. So
I'm just looking for
granted, the portal's only been open for a couple of days now.
it's
So
been three.
and like there's gonna be more entries after the bowl games and shit as well. So it's
Yeah,
still very early in the process. There's going to be a lot more guys leaving for most teams than signing so far.
for sure. For sure. Yeah, some decent moves so far. Nothing super crazy. Yeah.
I would say like starting next week is probably when we're going to start seeing it heat up. I think the bowl games start this weekend.
Yeah,
So
once some teams like start losing and finishing their bowls and then the second transfer window opening up after the playoffs.
yeah,
And
that'll bring more
that'll
guys in.
free up a lot of like top talent from those top schools.
Yeah, some guys wait until after the whole bowl season and the season ends. It's a lot of the times like some of the bigger players will do that. Especially if they're like on a playoff team right now, they might wait till after the
Yeah.
playoffs and see what opens up. Looks like this weekend, Army Navy's the big thing and the
Yeah,
Heisman
that's all we got.
ceremony. Army I think is probably gonna win that, but it's a rivalry. They play very similar style offenses.
This should be just a
Um,
fucking slugfest on the lines.
I'll probably actually watch it. Sometimes I don't watch it, sometimes I do, but I'm definitely gonna watch it this year. It's always a fun rivalry game anyway.
Bryson Daly gonna put up 400.
That'd be cool. And then I think the Heisman ceremony is this weekend. Maybe it's next weekend. Um, I think it's this weekend actually, and it's just Travis Hunter. So that'll be interesting.
No
And
point even watching it.
bowl games, I don't know. They're just glorified spring games at this point. The ones that aren't playoff games. Um, we got
How
we
they
got we got we got Navy. So I think we could beat Navy actually.
at least you guys made a bowl game.
Yeah, we go beat
What the
Navy. It'd
fuck is
be
this?
winning season. Pick them. Okay, that sounds fun.
Okay, I guess I gotta fucking pick teams. I just want to look at the matchups. Virginia and Memphis. That'd be decent.
Yeah, it's a solid game.
I kind of like that
Oh,
too.
Ohio's solid.
Yeah.
Florida Tulane's
Tulane,
actually
Florida.
pretty good, but
Okay.
Tulane just lost everybody, so Florida probably wins that. Um, there's really not a lot of great. Rutgers K-State's not bad.
This is
Um,
kind of. I like this one.
that's a
I
pretty
like this
evenly
one
matched.
too.
That's a pretty evenly matched. Syracuse,
This could be fun.
that could be cool. Nebraska Boston College is like sneakily kind of good.
Iowa State, Miami. Okay.
I like that matchup. I think Miami wins, but you
Well,
know.
Cam Ward's not gonna play, so they
Oh
have.
yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
And yeah, Rocco, I don't even think he's like draft eligible yet, so he's probably just gonna play if he's all good.
Yeah. I don't know. BYU, Colorado. Okay. I mean, they got no Shador, so BYU's probably gonna smack on them.
I would say so. There's probably no way they play in the bowl game. Army, Marshall, that's solid. Missouri, Iowa, that's all right. Alabama, Michigan's like a blue
I
blood
don't. How the
battle
fuck did they even get that? How does this happen? There's a 5 loss team playing a 3 loss team. This is stupid.
because they just wanted to match up two blue bloods. It
It's
actually
dumb.
makes no sense
It's
whatsoever.
it's stupid. I'm shit. Michigan probably wins because Milroe's not gonna play. Yeah, I don't know. Dumb.
South
Uh,
Carolina, Illinois is a good. That's a really good matchup actually.
yeah, I
Citrus,
like that.
Texas
Cheese
Bowl.
Bowl. Shit, I think Baylor might win that game. Duke, Ole Miss. Okay. Minnesota, Virginia Tech.
That's
Yeah,
kind of
nothing,
kind
nothing.
of, kind of it. Outside of the playoffs, like there's nothing really. And then like like a lot of guys are sitting out too. Like bowl games are kind of just dead. They're just glorified spring games to me.
Yeah,
If I
it's
look
kind of
into
hard
next year, look at your younger talent, giving them an
yeah,
opportunity to play.
it's kind of hard to tell like who's gonna win because you don't know who the fuck's gonna play.
Like I'm to the point where they just got rid of bowl games. I wouldn't even care at this point. Like they're still cool.
Yeah.
It's still cool, but it's just like,
Shit, they should just make the fucking playoffs 24 games and just incorporate all the bowls into that.
yeah. Or do like a NIT basically,
Yeah,
like
I did see that. That could be all the majority of the rest of the big bowl games. That'd be cool.
that'd be interesting. I mean,
And
it'd
then
be
they
it'd
could
be a
do
cool
like
thing.
a prize pot for that winner of that tournament too.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, nobody would care. I would care. I mean,
If your team did make the fucking normal playoffs, you're gonna watch that one.
you would be like, I'd be pretty excited if my team won like the second one.
Everybody's gonna watch it because there's still more football. So
There's some things on like even like the NBA is doing the in season tournament.
yeah,
I didn't really care about it, but now that the Thunder are like in the semifinals, I'm like, I hope we win this. Like, it's pretty cool.
yeah,
Like anything that like incentivizes like teams to play and like get something, I think is pretty cool. And I wouldn't be surprised if they ended up doing something like that in the next few years.
yeah. Me neither.
Because I mean, like right now where the Bulls are sitting, like
They're looking good.
I don't want to watch like most of these.
Nah, it's gonna be mostly just fans of the two teams, or people tune in and hopeful that the fucking starters are playing, and then they're like, I don't know any of these fucking people, and it's just a spring game, like you were saying. It's me, the
Yeah.
fucking the backups playing to see what you got.
Michael Hawkins will be on a like a trial run against Navy. So I mean, we see like how good he's improved since the South Carolina game. He hasn't really played since then. We
Yeah,
burned his red shirt. I didn't realize that.
Oof.
It just goes to show how terrible Venables is at managing like things like that because he burned Jackson's last year because he was throwing Jackson into meaningless games, and that's what led to Gabriel leaving. And then he burns Michael Hawkins this year, having him play like Temple, like throwing Casey Thompson, whatever the fuck his name is. Like, stop burning people's red shirts so they could play garbage time against some stupid team.
Yep.
Like, I don't know, man. I think we're screwed. I think we're and unless we start getting guys in the portal, it's looking bleak out here for us.
I like how I'm more optimistic about our season than you are.
Yeah, and we're like in a bowl game, but it's like
We had a worse year. Uh, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, fucking time
I
will
just don't know
tell.
like how you guys do so much better in the portal than us. Like, there's no way you guys have more money than us. There's just like there's no
No.
way.
I
I think
Norvell's
y'all are more willing to spend money, I think, than we are though.
Norvell's the Portal King, right?
Maybe Venables just isn't the guy. I don't.
Maybe
It's
not. I don't know.
I don't know. Like I hope he is.
Well, he
I
was
want
under
him to be.
fucking what's his nut at Clemson, so maybe you don't really believe in the portal just like he did.
Yeah. Well, I'm hearing Clemson's kind of dipping their toes into the portal
I
this
don't know why they
offseason.
wouldn't. A little bit, like a little. You don't gotta fucking rebuild your team, but like maybe fill a couple holes.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. Like fuck, dude, come on, no.
I do like what they have as far as like they're pretty good at developing players. So
Yeah,
like if you sign to Clemson, you're probably gonna want to stay there because you're like, I'll probably get my shot eventually. It might be towards the end of my career, but at least I'll have a chance.
yeah. That's why I'm saying like they don't need to fucking go crazy, but like you fill a couple holes. Like all right, we've drafted a lot of running backs, or not drafted, but recruited a lot. They suck, so we'll bring somebody in.
Yeah. I mean, they could probably take them to the next level because they're already, really good.
They got to do something.
I'm impressed with Dabo though. He's somehow still made it to the playoffs. Still somehow doing it.
I can't know if I'm hearing crying or the cat meowing. Uh,
Very, very similar noises.
yeah, from a distance, for sure. They do sound very similar.
They are very similar noises. Yeah, well, I mean, not a whole lot to talk about
No,
college football wise. We're just kind of waiting for the playoffs,
yeah, we
waiting to
might.
see what happens.
I think we talked about having a little break until probably after the first week of playoffs or after the first round. So we probably won't have a college football episode out next week. So probably a week after.
Yeah,
I
probably
don't
gonna
know.
want some playoff action before.
Yeah. So I don't know if we'll take the week off or we just find something random to dip into. So I guess we'll just kind of see how the weekend goes. And I feel like we could do the episode any day of the week since we're not on a schedule really.
Yeah. So I mean,
If we
well,
come up with
you
something.
guys might see like a random episode, not college football related. Um, Things get a little wild on those episodes, so just
Yeah.
be prepared.
Yep. Yep.
Probably will be drunk, and
Absolutely. I'm
yeah. So
drunk almost every episode.
I haven't really been drinking
I
this
know you
this
kind of let me
season.
down. It's the whole theme of the
Yeah,
show. Nick's on his
I've
fucking
been.
sobriety.
So, well, I mean, it's like I just don't drink as much. Like I drank on Thanksgiving. That was like the only time I've drank in a long time.
Yeah. I mean,
But
I
I
drink
think
like
maybe next week because I'm on Christmas break now, so
yeah.
I might start drinking on some of the episodes, especially the random ones because it's like I don't like drinking as much on the college football ones because I feel like I lose my focus. Like I don't know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. On the random ones, like it doesn't matter. Like
Yeah.
we're not talking about anything.
I feel like I did my best work when I'm drunk.
Some of our best episodes are when we were like just
Yeah.
trashed, just
I
completely trashed.
don't even remember them, so hey, but they hits. We'll take it.
The female cartoon characters. That
I
was a
think
good
that's our
one.
best episode. So
It's one of our better episodes.
all you
But
Sims out there,
we're gonna have to come up with something crazy to
maybe we'll
bring
do
out.
like fucking like a bracket of like movie actresses or something to go along with that one.
No, no, we shouldn't actually. No, we should do something like that because I feel like we hit a special kind of audience
Yeah, we hit
with
a
that
vein there.
episode.
We hit the vein. There's something there.
Yeah, actually, we should probably do a few episodes like that. Honestly, like we just get that crowd in there.
All them horny males out there. We gotta feed into it.
No, they'll love it. They'll
Yeah,
love
they'll be eating out of our hands. Be 2 million subscribers before we
it.
know it.
We're gonna be more known for
Yeah, we'll
that.
just have to switch to just the sex podcast. It's
Just
wild.
doing doing these categories for like women and like,
There's only so many you could do. I don't know what you would. I don't know how far you can go with it. But you were gonna differentiate by hair color next, or like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, redhead
no,
to your list.
we do our like football ones, but like most disappointing performance like on Pornhub.
Jesus Christ, they're gonna do a porn star to your list. That could be heat.
Actually,
See,
that'd be a pretty good
write that
one.
down. Write that down.
That's a good idea. That's-
Yep.
I feel like that's the first thing we need to hit is that
Yeah,
weird audience.
that's a hit right there. That's gonna get views. I mean, it might not. People might not agree with it, but because it's all preferential. But there'll be three of us, so we have to vote on it.
Yeah. Honestly, that's the audience we need to hit for the next episode. So expect
Expect
something kind of weird coming up.
some thirst, a little thirst, a little grease.
Yeah. If you're still don't expect what you just watched. Just
Yeah,
don't.
we should put a college football thumbnail over it. Just bait the normal people into it. That'd be kind of funny. They'd be like, "Whoa, what the fuck is this?"
Yeah. So I guess we're in an episode. No, it's a short one, but only a few games, conference championship week, not as
Yep.
much to talk about. So we'll catch you soon. Like, comment, subscribe, roll tide.
Roll Tide.